God is the essence of all that we seek to understand, and yet remains beyond the grasp of our most profound thoughts. We look to the heavens, the stars, the endless expanse of the cosmos, and we wonder, could this grand design be the fingerprint of something greater? God is not confined to temples or texts, not bound by creed or culture. God is the whisper of the wind, the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of the ocean, and the beating of our hearts. God is the architect of unity, the force that connects each of us to one another, regardless of who we are or where we come from. Perhaps God is the curiosity within us, urging us to ask questions, to seek meaning, and to explore the unknown. Or maybe God is the stillness that brings us peace when we are surrounded by chaos. Some find God in love, in the kindness shared between strangers, in the laughter of a child, or in the quiet resilience of a single blade of grass pushing through the concrete. God is both vast and intimate, present in the stars that light the night sky and in the tears that fall silently down a face. God is in our triumphs and in our struggles, in the moments of great clarity and in the silence of doubt. God is in the unspoken, the infinite possibilities, and the beauty of simply being alive. In the end, perhaps the question isn't who is God, but rather, where do we see God? And the answer, my friends, is as diverse and infinite as life itself. God is the essence of all we seek to understand, yet remains beyond the grasp of our deepest thoughts. This means that the concept of God transcends the limits of human comprehension. We are beings driven by curiosity, constantly searching for answers to the mysteries of existence: how life began, why the universe exists, and what purpose lies behind it all. Yet, no matter how much we learn or discover, the essence of God remains just out of reach, like a horizon that shifts as we move closer. This isn't a limitation, but a profound truth about the nature of divinity. God is the great unknown, a force that invites us to keep asking questions, to keep growing and evolving. In this way, the search itself becomes sacred. The wonder and humility we feel in the face of the vastness of the universe and the intricacies of life point to something greater, a presence that cannot be fully defined or contained, but is deeply felt. God's essence is not a puzzle to be solved, but a mystery to be embraced, inspiring awe and reverence. It is in the unexplainable beauty of a sunset, the delicate complexity of a flower, and the boundless possibilities of the human spirit. It is in the moments when we realize that life is more than the sum of its parts, that there is something immeasurable holding it all together. This ungraspable essence invites us to reflect, to marvel, and to connect with the divine, not through knowledge alone, but through the experience of wonder. Found not in walls or books, but in the wind, the sun, the ocean, and the rhythm of life. This idea conveys that God is not confined to a specific place, doctrine, or tradition. Instead, God is ever present, woven into the fabric of existence itself. Many seek God in temples, churches, or scriptures, and while those spaces and writings hold meaning, they are not the entirety of where God resides. God is not limited by the structures we build or the words we write, but exists in the boundless expanse of nature and the living world. The wind carries whispers of divine energy, unseen but felt. It moves through the trees, caressing your face, reminding you that some things cannot be captured or controlled, yet are undeniably real. The sun, with its warmth and light, sustains life on earth. It is a symbol of hope, a daily reminder of renewal, of beginnings and endings, and of the cyclical nature of existence. The ocean, vast and deep, reflects God's infinite and mysterious nature. It roars with power, yet cradles life with gentleness, embodying both strength and serenity. And then there's the rhythm of life itself, the heartbeat of the universe. The rising and setting of the sun, the ebb and flow of the tides, the turning of seasons, and the pulse of your own heart. All of these are evidence of a divine harmony, an intricate design that flows through everything. God is not something separate from life, but the force that makes it move, that gives it breath, that unites it in its endless dance. This understanding invites us to see the sacred in the everyday. Every gust of wind, every wave crashing upon the shore, every leaf fluttering in the breeze becomes a reminder that God is here, present in the simplest and most profound moments of existence. God is not distant but intimately close, infused into the essence of all that is alive and vibrant. A unifying force connecting all people beyond boundaries and differences. This idea speaks to the profound truth that at our core, humanity is one, God is not bound by the divisions we create: religions, nations, races, or ideologies. These separations are human constructs, born of our need to categorize and define. Yet, the essence of God transcends these barriers, reminding us that the thread of divinity runs through us all. Think of the universal experiences we share. Love, loss, joy, pain, these emotions know no borders, no language, no creed. They are the bridges that connect us as human beings. This connection is divine. It whispers to us in moments of kindness, in the instinct to comfort a stranger, in the recognition of another's humanity even when their life seems vastly different from our own. When we hurt one another or build walls to keep each other out, we are moving against the current of this divine unity. God's force is not one of division but of connection, urging us to see past our differences to the shared light within. This is why acts of compassion and forgiveness feel so powerful. They align us with something greater than ourselves, something eternal and universal. The unifying presence of God also challenges us. It asks us to look at those we struggle to understand or even those we dislike and recognize their sacred worth. It is not easy, but it is a path toward deeper understanding and peace. When we embrace this perspective, we begin to see that we are not isolated individuals, but parts of a greater whole, intricately connected to each other and to the divine source of life. God's unifying force teaches us that every act of division or hatred diminishes not just the other, but ourselves. Conversely, every gesture of unity, every time we choose love over fear or connection over separation, magnifies the divine presence in our world. It is a call to live not as isolated beings, but as reflections of one another, bound together by the sacred energy of creation. The curiosity that drives us to question, explore, and search for meaning is itself an expression of the divine. It is a force within us, stirring our minds and hearts, urging us to look beyond what we already know and to wonder about what lies just out of reach. This innate desire to seek answers, to understand who we are, why we are here, and what purpose life holds is not a random trait, but a profound reflection of God's essence within us. Curiosity is a sacred gift. It has led humanity to explore the stars, delve into the depths of the oceans, and unlock the mysteries of life itself. Through it, we strive to comprehend the workings of the universe, discovering its intricate beauty and infinite complexity. But curiosity does not stop with the physical world. It also propels us inward, to question the nature of our souls, our relationships, and our connection to something greater than ourselves. This relentless pursuit of knowledge is more than an intellectual endeavor, it is a spiritual journey. Each question we ask, every discovery we make, is a step closer to understanding the divine force that underpins existence. But paradoxically, the more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unknown. This endless cycle of seeking and discovering mirrors the infinite nature of God, a source that continually invites us to explore deeper and further. Curiosity also challenges complacency. It keeps us from accepting the world as it is and inspires us to dream of what it could be. It is the spark that ignites change, the seed of innovation, and the root of empathy, as we strive to understand perspectives different from our own. It reminds us that life is not a static experience, but a dynamic, ever-evolving process of growth and understanding. In this way, curiosity is not just a human trait. It is a reflection of the divine energy within us, calling us to engage with life fully, to never stop asking, and to never stop seeking. It is through this seeking that we draw closer to God, not in finding all the answers, but in embracing the journey itself as a sacred act of discovery. The stillness that brings peace amid chaos and uncertainty is a profound reflection of the divine presence. In a world that often feels overwhelming, filled with noise, conflict, and endless demands, stillness is a sanctuary, a moment where the rush of life slows and we can connect with something deeper. It is in these moments of calm that we feel closest to God, not as an external force, but as a quiet, steady presence within us. Stillness is not the absence of movement, but the grounding of the soul. It is the pause between breaths, the silence between thoughts, where clarity emerges. In times of chaos, when the world feels unsteady, stillness is the reminder that there is a deeper rhythm beneath the surface, a divine harmony that remains unshaken by the turbulence of life. This peace is not something we create, but something we tap into. A gift always present, but often overlooked in the rush of our days. In moments of uncertainty, when fear and doubt creep in, stillness becomes a source of strength. It reminds us that while we may not control the circumstances around us, we can anchor ourselves in the present, where God resides. This anchoring brings perspective, helping us see that even in the storm there is order, purpose, and a path forward. Stillness also invites us to listen not just to the world around us, but to the voice within. It is in these quiet moments that we hear the whispers of divine guidance, the reassurance that we are not alone, and the gentle nudges toward truth and wisdom. Through stillness, we discover that peace is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of God's enduring love amidst it. This divine stillness is not reserved for special places or occasions. It is available to us in every moment. Whether we find it in the quiet of nature, the solitude of prayer, or the simple act of breathing deeply, it is a sacred refuge. It calls us back to ourselves and reminds us of our connection to the infinite, teaching us that peace is not something we chase, but something we carry within, a reflection of the divine itself. Present in love, kindness, and the quiet miracles of everyday life, God reveals the sacred through the simplest acts and experiences. We often search for divinity in grand gestures, extraordinary events, or profound revelations, yet the presence of God is most evident in the subtle, everyday expressions of love and kindness that weave life together. Love, in its purest form, is the essence of God. It manifests in the embrace of a friend, the selfless act of a parent, or the compassionate touch of a stranger. These moments remind us that God is not distant but intimately present in the connections we share. Love transcends boundaries, asking nothing in return, and in this selflessness, it mirrors the divine. It binds us together, reminding us that we are all reflections of the same sacred energy. Kindness, too, is a quiet miracle, often overlooked but profoundly transformative. A simple smile, a helping hand, or a word of encouragement can ripple through the world in ways we may never fully understand. Acts of kindness remind us that divinity does not demand grand gestures but lives in the everyday choices we make to lift one another. These small actions create a mosaic of grace, reflecting God's presence in the fabric of our daily lives. And then there are the quiet miracles, the ordinary moments that, upon reflection, feel extraordinary. The first light of dawn spilling across the horizon, the laughter of a child, the smell of rain on dry earth, these are not coincidences, but gentle reminders of the divine artistry present in the world. They ask us to pause, to notice, and to feel gratitude for the gift of life itself. God's presence in these moments teaches us to see with new eyes. It shows us that the sacred is not confined to rituals or doctrines, but is alive in the small, meaningful interactions and experiences that fill our days. When we open our hearts to this truth, we begin to see that divinity is not something we must seek out. It is already here, waiting for us to notice in every act of love, every gesture of kindness, and every miracle that quietly unfolds before us. Both vast and intimate, found in the stars above and the smallest moments of the heart, God is a presence that defies the limits of human understanding, existing simultaneously on the grandest scale and within the most personal experiences. This duality is a profound reminder that the divine is not confined to one form or one place, but is present in all things, both immense and minute. In the vastness of the cosmos, we see God's infinite nature. The stars scattered across the night sky, distant galaxies, and the incomprehensible expanse of the universe speak to a creative force that is boundless and eternal. This grandeur humbles us, reminding us of our smallness in the face of something so immense, yet it also fills us with awe. In this vastness, we sense that there is a design, an order, a purpose far greater than we can grasp, a divine presence woven into the very fabric of existence. Yet for all this enormity, God is also intimate, residing within the quiet moments of our lives and the deepest parts of our being. The beating of our hearts, the touch of a loved one, the quiet whisper of hope in our darkest times, these are where we feel God's presence most personally. It is the divine within us that brings comfort, strength, and a sense of connection that no words can fully describe. This interplay of the vast and the intimate is a testament to the boundless nature of God. The same force that breathes life into galaxies also resides in the gentle unfolding of a flower. It is a paradox that God can be so immense as to encompass all of existence, yet so close as to dwell within each of us. This duality teaches us that no moment is too small, no life too insignificant to hold the sacred. Recognizing this truth invites us to live with both awe and gratitude. It calls us to marvel at the universe's grandeur while cherishing the simple, tender moments of our daily lives. In doing so, we see that the divine is not distant or abstract, but ever present, both in the infinite expanse of the stars and in the quiet sanctuary of our hearts. Not a question of who is God, but where do we see God? This perspective shifts the focus from defining the divine to experiencing it. The search for God is not about arriving at a single definitive answer. It's about opening our eyes, hearts, and minds to the presence of the sacred in all things. God is not hidden, but constantly revealed in the world around us, waiting for us to notice. Where we see God is deeply personal, shaped by our unique lives and experiences. Some may feel the divine in the grandeur of nature, a mountain peak that touches the sky, the stillness of a forest, or the vastness of the ocean. For others, it may be in the beauty of human connection, the way a friend listens, a parent sacrifices, or a stranger offers kindness. These moments remind us that the divine is not distant but interwoven with the fabric of our lives. God is also seen in the quiet resilience of life itself. In the blooming of a flower after a storm, the first cry of a newborn, or the gentle return of light after a long night, we find the sacred. These are not coincidences but manifestations of a deeper force at work, showing us that even in struggle, there is growth, hope, and renewal. The divine is also reflected in acts of creation and transformation. When a person writes a song, paints a picture, or rebuilds their life after hardship, they are participating in something sacred. These acts are echoes of the divine force that brings order to chaos and beauty to the ordinary. This question, where do we see God, teaches us to approach life with awareness and humility. It challenges us to see the sacred in the everyday, to look beyond the surface and recognize the deeper meaning in even the smallest moments. It invites us to expand our understanding of the divine, moving beyond a single image or idea to embrace the infinite ways God can manifest. Ultimately, the answer is as diverse and limitless as life itself. We see God wherever we allow ourselves to truly look, whether in the vastness of the universe, the complexity of a human soul, or the simple beauty of a moment fully lived. The divine is not confined to where we are told to find it. It is everywhere, waiting to be discovered anew in each moment, in each breath, and in each encounter.